I honestly don't know if they were trying to kill me or what.
Day and night,
We were terrorized, yes.
they feared for their lives.
I was fed up.
Heather Campbell wants to shed light on the death threats on Facebook against her son Patrick and the related acts of violence outside their home.
They were shooting at our house. They threw a brick through our window in the middle of the night.
Blood was all over me.
But this way. to you.
Right here.
I took brass knuckles and was beating on our garage. So I was in fear for my kids' safety.
The teens behind the attacks often bragged on social media about the incidents.
Pictures of guns saying that they're going to take care of the job tonight and saying that they just wanted to kill me.
Patrick, a high school senior, doesn't know why he was the target of the cyberbullying, but it ended last year when prosecutors filed criminal charges. School authorities were unaware of the problem until his mom brought it to their attention.
If the schools could get a hold on it, when it first happens, things like this wouldn't escalate.
Over the past 2 years, Facebook has been a place kids have detailed violent intentions, often discovered by authorities after classmates are injured or killed. In February 2012, near Cleveland, Ohio, TJ Lane shot 3 high school students. Lane posted his plans on Facebook 30 days before. In August 2011, Tampa police prevented a high school attack based on information on the suspect's Facebook postings. And in February 2011, in Martinsville, Indiana, Michael Phelps shot a classmate. He talked about his plans days earlier on Facebook. So the days of schools being in the dark on such things are coming to an end.
This is a breakthrough tool for school security.
Bruce Cannell is the driving force behind the company known as Social Net Watcher. The retired state police trooper with 30 years experience spent the past 2 years working on a software program that will alert schools about online threats.
This is going to help predict that troubled student who is either being berated or beaten up and needs help, or a student who's becoming to the point where he's going to act out in a criminal manner or a suicidal manner.
Schools that sign up must get permission from the student and their guardian. That means that Social Net Watcher can monitor everything on your Facebook wall 24/7. That includes messages from people who are your friends. The service does not scan pictures or focus on messages related to sex, drugs, or alcohol. But type that someone will die tomorrow and the school gets a red violence alert. Mention that you can't take the tormenting anymore and a yellow suicide alert is sent out. Suggest that someone killed themselves and a green bullying alert is issued. The text alerts provide school administrators with the name of the person receiving the message and all related postings. And that information gives educators the chance to determine whether the message is child's play or requires the attention of a counselor or a police officer.
I would like to know it in advance because I want to be proactive.
School police officer John Akers patrols his building and teaches a class, but right now he has no access to the messages being exchanged among his students.
A pursuit for the ultimate drive starts here.
It's been a long road for Patrick and his family. While the bullying is in the rearview mirror, his parents still have several surveillance cameras at work outside their home and are mindful of the online friends and foes.
Emily Allen gets nervous when she waits for her 8-year-old daughter, Piper, to get off the school bus.
Do you ever worry that she might not get off the bus?
Yeah, I do. It's one of those deep fears that you don't even want to think about.
Elling puts her trust in the bus driver to make sure Piper arrives home safely.
Something that you definitely think about as a parent.
And a 2009 law is supposed to help ensure Piper's safety, but the Call 6 investigators uncovered that law is not working exactly as planned. It requires schools and bus companies to report when a child is left alone on a school bus. The idea was the numbers would drop after the law took effect, but we found that's not the case. Records show 9 incidents in 2009, 18 in 2010, 22 in 2011, and another 20 in 2012. That's 69 incidents since the law went into effect. Some of those incidents include more than one child.
I'm actually quite shocked. I had no idea that the numbers were as high as they were.
Check out this tape of a Center Grove bus driver leaving a dozen students on a bus for 15 minutes while she goes into a McDonald's.
You can't believe that one of your people would be that careless.
District Transportation Director Rick Peterson says it's frustrating the driver knew she left children behind.
Anything can happen when a child's left unattended on a bus.
On a freezing January day 2010, a Tippecanoe 8-year-old asleep on the bus woke up and wandered across the street to a nearby store. Police took her home. 2 days later, a police officer found a disoriented Center Grove student walking along a busy road after she woke up on a parked bus. The district showed us several measures it has in place that encourage drivers to check the bus for sleeping or hiding children.
They go to the back of the bus and they press the child check system.
Some high-tech, some low-tech, but sometimes technology and training aren't enough.
And it falls back to the driver. The driver is ultimately responsible for making sure that bus is safe.
The Call 6 investigators found hundreds of school districts and bus companies without a single child left, while 9 reported more than one incident. Perry Township and Brownsburg had the most incidents statewide with 3 apiece.
So how does that happen? How do you leave a child on a school bus?
Well, it's never intentional, obviously. And circumstances varied in all 3 of those cases.
In one case, a bus driver stepped away to use the bathroom, leaving a 4th grader alone on the bus.
Sometimes you have things like that are, it shouldn't have happened, but, sometimes those things do, unfortunately.
Every kid has the potential of being in a dangerous situation if they're left on a bus.
Michael LaRocco of the Indiana Department of Education says he is disappointed the law seems to have no impact on bus drivers leaving students alone.
A little unsettling. The ideal number would be 0. I mean, it's not that difficult for drivers to do that, and we preach it constantly across every district.
When the Call 6 investigators wanted to know more about kids left on buses, we couldn't find that information online. So we requested the data from the state, and some of what we got doesn't have many details. Turns out the state requires only a few pieces of information on the report, and the state doesn't have to post the information online.
But what if school districts don't report when a child is left? The state has no way of knowing, and there's no punishment.
We've had a couple districts that didn't submit a report, mainly because they didn't have the knowledge that says, hey, we have to report.
LaRocco says the state did email school administrators when the law went into effect.
Is there anything that could be done to make school districts provide more detail?
Not without changing the law itself.
So we asked Representative Robert Baining, who co-sponsored the bus bill.
Do you think there's some room for improvement there?
I think there's always room for improvement. No child should be left on a school bus, regardless of the situation. So yes, I am disappointed. It's not, 1 or 2 I could understand, but I think it's a little high.
As lawmakers consider possible tweaks to the law, school districts say they're taking extra steps to keep children safe. In Brownsburg, transportation officials use this dummy, Will, to keep drivers on their toes.
When the drivers do their check, their final check, they find Will, they get to bring him in, and they get a candy bar or some other kind of treat.
Do you have a good day? Yeah.
Emily Elling says schools should make checking their buses for children a top priority. After all, it's precious cargo like Piper that need to make it home safely.